I'm gonna rank the best and worst YouTube growth strategies so you know what's actually worth your time. Some of these have the potential to unlock serious growth, and others are not just a waste of time, but they're actively hurting your channel. I'm the CEO of the leading YouTube marketing agency where we help the biggest brands in the world grow on YouTube. So I'm gonna use everything I've learned to rank these strategies in the following criteria. S tier, game changers. These drive the highest ROI for your time. A tier, these are the growth essentials. B tier, works but limited. C tier, low ROI. F tier, stop. These are hurting your channel. Let's rank them, starting with one of the most misunderstood strategies out there. Using YouTube ads to grow your channel. Take this video from Microsoft. Understanding Azure's Cosmo DB's APIs. Whatever that is, 116,000 views. It was clear this video was promoted with ads. Better packaging and improving the video itself may have driven small gains, but it would have still been limited to the channel average of a few hundred views. With ads, however, they were to be able to get this video seen by much more of their target audience than what would have been possible organically. See, most people instantly write YouTube ads off as a waste of money. And for most channels, they're right. But the truth is, YouTube ads can be very effective if you're in a highly technical industry or a niche with a low total addressable market, your TAM. In these niches, content can be a little dry or boring, So for content like this where organic reach is naturally smaller, ads become a great tool to find more of the specific audience that needs your solution. But you have to be careful. If you run ads too early, you risk flooding your data with low intent viewers before the algorithm even knows who your real audience is. So you need to build a foundation first. I'm putting this strategy in C tier. We've had success growing channels with ads, and especially for driving conversions with remarketing. But for most channels looking to drive growth on YouTube, this will never be as valuable as some of the strategies we have coming up. In fact, this next one is one of the most important things on this list, but almost nobody talks about it properly. Going niche versus going broad. Your videos are competing for attention against every other video your audience could watch on the same topic. So if you're trying to attract a broad audience, you'll run into much stronger competition from established creators in the space. Think of the Joe Rogans and Mr. Beasts of the world. These channels are dedicated to creating world-class content, and trying to outdo them will be incredibly hard. That's why the channels that grow the fastest aren't trying to outcompete everyone. They become a niche of one. They own one category for one specific audience, and they build a unique value proposition around it that's layered. Their expertise, their format, their style. Think about Alex Hormozi. He started on YouTube talking about one thing, how to grow a gym. And once he owned that space, he expanded into how to grow any business. Now he's one of the biggest names on the platform. But it all started with one audience and one problem. When you get specific with your niche, every single video reinforces your position. The algorithm gets smarter about who to show your content to, and your audience becomes more loyal. Your competitors become irrelevant because you're not even playing the same game. And once you've established an audience in your specific niche, that's when you can start testing content that goes more broad to reach more viewers. Going niche is S tier. If you only take one thing from this video, this is it. Now for our next one, this isn't only a waste of time, but it might have actually hurt your organic reach. I'm talking about researching and obsessing over keywords, tags, and how to game search results. In other words, video SEO. 10 years ago, this worked, but today the algorithm runs off predictive AI. It doesn't need a keyword stuffed title and 20 tags to understand your video. Instead, it scans your thumbnail, it reads your transcript, and even analyzes your video frames. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a ton of value in generating search traffic, especially for educational niches. And doing the basics of video SEO still plays some role in that. But over-optimizing your video's metadata is not what's gonna get you ranked in search anymore. What actually gets you ranked is identifying topics your audience cares about, making better packaging to inspire them to click, and creating engaging content that keeps them watching. Also, keep in mind, most viewership today comes from recommendations, so you're much better off focusing on these things rather than trying to game search results. Video SEO is much more of a time waster than people realize, and it could even be putting your organic reach at risk when overdone by confusing the algorithm. And that's why I'm putting video SEO in F tier. Focus on the content, not the keywords. And if you're wondering what focusing on the content actually looks like, This next strategy is the magic separating videos that people click away from and videos that people can't stop watching. Using frameworks, stories, and metaphors. Most creators overload the viewer with facts and details and then wonder why retention drops and the video flops. Your job is to take complex information and ideas and make it feel effortlessly simple to understand. When you do that, the viewer doesn't have to work as hard. And when people aren't working to keep up, they keep watching. The easiest way to do this is to wrap key points in a story, a framework, or a metaphor. Compare an abstract problem to something physical, like a bucket with a hole in it, a triangle, a ladder. These work because they reduce cognitive overload. Instead of forcing the viewer to process complex information, you're giving their brain something to hold on to. It's like trying to fill a cup with a fire hose. The water explodes everywhere, but the cup barely fills. Skilled creators use a faucet. Same water, controlled flow, now the cup actually fills. Don't fill cups with fire hoses. See what I did there? And if you come up with your own frameworks and stories, give them a name. This is how you build intellectual property, and your content becomes uniquely yours. In a world where AI can generate just about anything, original IP is your moat. Competitors can't touch that. I'm putting this in A tier because if viewers have to work too hard to understand you, they'll leave and find someone else who makes it easy. Now, if how you deliver information matters that much, this next one is either helping you or working against you. Highly edited videos. Stock footage, heavy animation, music, sound effects. A lot of channels pour serious time and money into their editing, thinking that's what you need to make a great video. But here's the thing, editing doesn't make or break your video. Your script does, your example does, your information does. Editing is what you use to amplify those things when they're already working well. The problem is when editing becomes a substitute for substance. Jump cuts every 5 seconds to disguise a weak delivery. Generic stock footage thrown in just to mix things up. Fancy animations that mask the fact that the video itself isn't delivering on its promise. That's editing as a band-aid, and viewers can see right past it. But the channels that use editing with intention are the winners. A well-placed animation that visually demonstrates a complex concept, a powerful example that proves your talking point, a song change that shifts pacing exactly where attention would normally dip. That's valuable editing. And this isn't about simple versus polished editing. Some channels thrive with cinematic production, and some win with a talking head and a whiteboard. What matters more is that your edit delivers value as efficiently as possible. Don't ask, how do I make this video look more polished? Instead ask, does this edit help the viewer understand and stay engaged with the actual information? I'm putting highly edited videos in B tier. Powerful when the substance on its own is strong, but useless when it's compensating for weak content. And speaking of weak content, this next one is one of the most common things I see killing channels. Just be consistent. You've heard this advice 1,000 times. Just stay consistent, just keep posting. The more you publish, the more you'll figure it out, and the algorithm will reward you. But not if what you're publishing isn't working. I see this all the time, brands posting uncut webinars, team culture videos, and leftover ad creative that should be unlisted. Content that was made for other uses, not for YouTube. And then they wonder why their channel isn't growing. There's also the other side of this, channels that keep publishing the same type of video over and over even though it's clearly not working. If your audience retention is showing less than 30% on a 10-minute video, posting more of the same isn't consistency, it's insanity. Look, there is real value in being consistent, but consistency only works when what you're being consistent with is actually resonating with viewers. Publishing for the sake of publishing trains the algorithm that your content doesn't hold attention, and that's a hole that gets harder to dig out of every video. Don't get stuck on perfection, but don't keep doing the same thing that isn't working either. I'm putting this in F tier because consistency with poor content kills channels. Now let's move on to a strategy that actually deserves all the hype it gets. This is how you generate millions of views organically. YouTube Shorts. YouTube is pushing shorts harder than ever right now. We're seeing them way more on the home feed, and they're now appearing in search results too. 74% of short views comes from people who are not subscribed to your channel. That makes shorts the single biggest discovery engine on YouTube right now. No other format puts you in front of that many people that fast. One of our clients saw this firsthand. A single short went viral and drove the biggest spike in channel growth they'd ever seen. Millions of views, over 10,000 new subscribers, and a huge jump in sales. Now, shorts viewers won't always go straight to your long form or your website, but they act as another touch point to deliver value and nurture potential customers. To succeed with shorts, retention is everything. The ones we see go viral often have over 100% retention, meaning viewers are watching them more than once. And the easiest way to get started, repurpose what you've already made. Find the high retention, high engagement moments from your long form videos and turn them into shorts. You should also think about creating standalone content specifically for the shorts feed. Reply to comment videos, green screen reactions, trending formats. These tend to perform really well, they just require more time to produce consistently. In short, shorts are very powerful, and data shows that channels using them alongside long form content grow 41% faster. So I'm putting YouTube Shorts in A tier. The opportunity here is massive and it's only getting bigger. But all that extra attention means nothing if it's not getting you the results that actually matter on YouTube. Which brings me to our next strategy, growing your subscribers. We get leads all the time telling us their main goal is to grow their subscriber count, or to hit a certain number like 30, 50, or 100,000 subs by the end of the year. They want one of these. And I get it, it's one of the most visible metrics on your channel, but your subscriber count isn't doing as much for you as you think. YouTube shows your video to people it predicts will enjoy it, not just your subscriber list. The majority of views actually comes from non-subscribers on the homepage or suggested videos. And sure, having a solid base lends your channel some credibility, but if nobody's actually watching your videos, then what impact is your channel really having? Look at a brand like ClickUp. 94,000 subscribers, but most of their videos barely crack a few hundred views. That's a subscriber graveyard. Instead of focusing on subscribers, start paying attention to click-through rate, average view duration, and returning viewer percentage. Those metrics actually tell you if your content is working. And if your content is working, the subscribers will naturally come anyway. So I'm putting this in C tier. It looks important, but it's actually just a distraction from things that move the needle. And speaking of things that move the needle, you probably already know how important the next one is, but you're still not giving it enough attention. Click-worthy packaging. YouTube's own product lead for growth and discovery said himself that
if it's performing relatively well in terms of CTR versus other videos, it's going to end up getting more impressions because it's going to rank higher in the feed.
Yeah.
That means if your packaging fails to attract clicks, the algorithm will simply stop showing your video, even if it's the best damn video ever created. So how do we make sure that doesn't happen? Well, when a viewer sees your title and thumbnail, they're making a split-second judgment. Is this video going to be worth my time? And that decision is based almost entirely on three things you control: clarity, curiosity, and confidence. The title's job is to clearly explain the value. What am I about to learn? What problem is getting solved? The thumbnail's job is to create curiosity. Plant a question in the viewer's mind that needs to be answered. And confidence? That's what the viewer feels when the title and thumbnail work together, calling back on each other, promising value, and pulling you in to see it. That's what earns the click. Too many of you are investing thousands of dollars into YouTube videos, but then cannibalizing your views with boring, safe thumbnails that lean into your brand guidelines, ignoring what actually works on YouTube. Here's a quick test. Shrink your thumbnail down to the size you'd actually see it on YouTube. Now squint your eyes. If you can't read the text or understand what the video is about, it fails. And if it fails a squint test, it's not getting clicked. I'm putting packaging in S tier. Nothing on this list matters if nobody is clicking on your videos. Now, because this is so important, let's talk about how to improve it in our next strategy. Title and thumbnail A/B testing. Creators were asking YouTube for built-in A/B testing tools forever. Third-party tools like TubeBuddy had this functionality long before YouTube did, and it was so valuable that I was paying thousands of dollars a month to use it for our clients. But now that YouTube has these tools built in, there's no excuse not to be testing multiple thumbnails and titles on every single video, giving it a better chance to perform, and more importantly, learning what your audience actually responds to so your future packaging keeps getting better. A winning thumbnail can double or triple your views on a single video. And in some cases, it can be the thing that gets you 50 times or even 100 times outlier growth. Take this video from Ali Abdaal. It jumped from 300,000 to 1.1 million just by finding a better thumbnail through A/B testing. Same video, better packaging, 250% more views. But like anything worth doing, this takes real effort. Creating multiple thumbnails and titles for every video, building a system to do it effectively, reviewing the data and learning from it. It's not easy, but the channels that invest in better packaging will grow faster than those that don't. It's that simple. So I'm putting this in A tier. The tools are there, use them. Next strategy, copying your competitors. I get the instinct. You see a competitor channel taking off, great thumbnails, great video topics, strong views, and you think, if I just do what they're doing, I'll get similar results. It's a strategic dead end. You're always one step behind, reacting to what someone else created. You never build your channel's own identity, and the audience can tell. That doesn't mean you should ignore what's working. You absolutely should be studying competitors, and even adjacent channels in different niches that are competing for the same viewer's attention. That's how you find gaps. That's how you see what formats, pacing, and structures are resonating with people. But here's the difference. The best channels take what they learn from research and filter it through their own lens. Their own examples, their own frameworks, their own proprietary knowledge. A thumbnail style from one niche, a video topic from another, a proven format from a third, blended together with your own unique information. Well, that's how you create something that feels fresh instead of borrowed. A great example of this is the video you're watching right now. I definitely didn't invent tier lists, but it's a proven format that I've now borrowed and applied to our niche. I'm putting this in C tier. Now, directly copying competitors, it is a shortcut that leads to nowhere. Researching them and making it your own, that's the play. For this next one, it's not glamorous, but it matters way more than most people think. Improving audio quality. Bad audio causes faster viewer drop off than bad video. People will watch a video shot on a basic webcam with crystal clear audio, but the second your audio starts peaking or sounds like you're recording in a cave, they're gone. A simple mic upgrade, even something like this, which is a few $100 at most, can meaningfully increase your retention, which directly impacts how YouTube perceives the value of your content and whether it should recommend it or not. If you have bad audio, this is one of the easiest wins you can unlock today. I'm putting audio quality in A tier, fix it and move on. But good audio quality means nothing if the viewer doesn't trust who's behind the mic. That's why this next strategy is key. Credibility in your content. Let's be real. There's a 0% chance you'd be watching this if I didn't have the receipts to back up what I'm saying. The same goes for your viewers. They will not stick around, subscribe, or buy from you if they don't believe you're credible. In a world of self-proclaimed experts, the bar for trust has never been higher. So if you're not adding a credibility layer into your content that proves why someone should listen to you, everything you say won't matter. You need to show proof early and often. In the first 30 seconds, tell people why you're qualified to talk about this. This is why by the third line of this video, I say, I'm the CEO of the leading YouTube marketing agency where we help the biggest brands in the world grow on YouTube. It's to make sure you know that what you're gonna learn in this video comes from a place of deep expertise, not just theory or ChatGPT. And after the intro, you may wanna weave in real case studies and examples to re-emphasize your expertise throughout your content. You can even use your physical environment to do this without saying a word. So I'm putting this in A tier. Proof of credibility is essential to maintain viewer trust, especially if you're a small channel. Okay, this next strategy is going to help you improve your viewer satisfaction. Creating long videos. I get asked all the time, what's the ideal video length? And the honest answer is, it's the wrong question. Because the biggest mistake we see brands make isn't choosing the wrong length. It's making videos longer than they need to be because they heard YouTube values watch time. Here's the thing. Not all watch time is equal. YouTube doesn't just measure how long someone watches, they measure how that person felt about the time they spent. In other words, viewer satisfaction. A 45-minute video where everyone leaves before the 10-minute mark isn't satisfying anyone. A tight 12-minute video with 70% retention, that's clearly satisfying. Now, we have nothing against creating long content. And if you can keep someone engaged on a video for 45 minutes, that's amazing, do it. But you have to earn your retention. Every second needs to justify its existence. If you can say it in 10 minutes, don't stretch it to 15 just because you think the algorithm wants it. I'm putting this in C tier, cut the noise, make the video as long as it needs to be and not a second longer. Okay, next up, a strategy every brand wants to do, but doesn't make sense. I'm talking about driving viewers to your website. I get it. You typically need people to go to your website to generate a lead or a customer, but here's the problem. YouTube wants viewers to stay on YouTube. When your videos are constantly pushing people off platform, YouTube sees your content as a session ender and session enders get fewer impressions and less distribution. The smarter play here is actually to get people to watch more of your content. Drive viewers to related videos and playlists to nurture a relationship with the viewer and move them down your funnel. When YouTube sees your content is successful at driving session watch time, it reads that as viewer satisfaction and rewards you with more reach. More reach means a bigger audience, and a bigger audience means more people are naturally going to find their way to your website. And keep in mind that not every video needs to drive traffic. Some videos exist to build trust and get people watching more. Others are more bottom of funnel conversion focused, where the viewer actually benefits by having a clear next step or place to go, like a lead magnet. So know what you're making, because your CTA should match the job of the video. I'm putting this in C tier. It's not wrong to drive viewers to your website, but how and when you do it matters. Next up, let's cover an underrated discovery hack that few channels are taking full advantage of right now. YouTube posts. These photos, polls, carousels, and GIFs show up in the home feed, in search results, and even in the shorts feed. And they don't just reach your subscribers, they surface to entirely new audiences. That means it's not just a way to engage your current audience, it's actually a new discovery engine for your channel. We manage posts for our client GitHub, and in 2025 alone, this feed generated over 4.6 million impressions and over 6,000 subscribers. And most of it was from repurposed content that was already being created for other platforms. You can use posts to promote new videos, run polls for audience research, or just stay top of mind so your channel doesn't go cold between uploads. I'm putting YouTube posts in B tier. It won't transform your channel overnight, but it's a low effort with high upside. Now, this next strategy has been around forever, but it's recently gotten some fresh attention from YouTube. Collaborations. Remember when some of these creators would appear on each other's channels and blow up? Collaborations have always been a part of YouTube. But the ability to actually tag another creator on your video and have YouTube recommend it to both audiences? That's new. Look at how a show like Diary of a CEO uses this. Most guests he brings on have their own established audience, so that collaboration tag helps the episode reach far beyond just his own channel audience. This is a clear win that guest-based podcasts should be testing more. And for brands, this gets interesting when you think about featuring high-profile talent or industry experts in your content. Think Lewis Hamilton for Lululemon or Ryan Reynolds for Mint Mobile. They're already creating content together, so using this feature could bring a huge lift in viewership to the content. With any type of collaboration though, the real risk comes when the audiences don't genuinely overlap. You'll get a spike of new viewers who aren't really your audience, they don't stick around, your retention drops, and that just drags down your overall channel. And just practically speaking, this is hard to do consistently. It requires relationships, budget, coordination, logistics. I'm putting this in B tier. With the right partner, this can absolutely accelerate growth. But it's not something to rely on every time. And that brings me to our final strategy, which is actually something that played a big role in why you're still watching this video. Scripting your videos. Think about the last YouTube video you clicked on and didn't finish. It probably wasn't the editing that lost you. It obviously wasn't the topic, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked. But somewhere along the way, you got bored, overloaded with information, or didn't get what you came for. That's a script problem. And to be clear, I don't mean you didn't have a script. You can easily write a terrible script. What I mean is that you didn't have a good script or a great script. Look at Joanna Wiebe of Copy Hackers. Her channel has blown up recently. Her older videos were short and jumped straight into a tactic. Here's the formula, here's how to use it. Useful, but those videos hovered around 1,000 views. But her latest videos sound a lot different. She opens with powerful hooks.
Do you know what Google, Starbucks, and TikTok have in common? None of them had an original idea.
She establishes credibility early.
I've helped brands generate over $500 million through my writing.
And she weaves in real brand stories instead of relying on hypothetical examples.
Microsoft is worth $3 trillion today, but before they figured out level 1, they made the same mistake almost everyone makes.
Same person, same expertise, but now her videos regularly get hundreds of thousands of views. That's what a good script does. It hooks the viewer in and maintains momentum throughout the entire video. And it builds to a payoff that makes the viewer feel satisfied. And the most critical piece is that first 15 to 30 seconds. That intro has one job: connect to the promise you made in your title and thumbnail and get into the content. Now, a script doesn't have to be word for word. It could be a strong hook, clear talking points, and then riffing from there. The risk with going word for word is sounding robotic. So delivery matters, but a clear intentional structure will almost always beat winging it. A great script turns views into watch time into more impressions, and more impressions into more views and compounding growth. I'm putting video scripting in S tier. You can survive with average editing. You can't survive with a boring video that lacks direction. So there it is, 18 strategies ranked. Focus on these S and A tier. All the other stuff isn't worth your time if you don't have the S and A stuff dialed in. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you want to learn another strategy around how to get your YouTube videos recommended in AI search, check this video next.